You have been lied to since you were a child, told that crunching on raw carrots was the ultimate secret to preserving your eyesight. But the shocking truth is that the whole carrot myth was actually a piece of World War II British propaganda designed to hide the invention of radar from enemy forces. The military needed a cover story for why their pilots could suddenly see enemy bombers in the dead of night. So they told the press it was because the pilots were eating massive amounts of carrots, and we have blindly swallowed that nutritional fairy tale ever since. If you are over 60 and noticing that the world is getting a little dimmer, that the edges of your vision are blurring, or that night driving has become a terrifying guessing game, you are not alone, and forcing down more carrots is not going to fix it. I know how frustrating it is. You look at a menu in a dimly lit restaurant and have to push it as far away from your face as your arms will allow, or you find yourself squinting at the television, feeling a quiet, creeping anxiety about losing your independence. We rely on our eyes for everything from reading the morning paper to seeing the smiles on our grandchildren's faces, and the thought of that fading away is deeply unsettling. But the real reason your eyes are aging faster than they should is not a lack of beta-carotene, but rather a hidden culprit working deep within the cells of your eyes, a destructive process called oxidative stress combined with the silent, toxic buildup of a cellular waste product called lipofuscin. This microscopic debris literally suffocates the delicate cells in your macula, the part of your retina responsible for sharp, straight-ahead vision. But I have good news for you today. We are going to explore 3 incredible natural solutions growing right in your backyard that are scientifically proven to repair and protect your eyes far better than carrots ever could. By the end of our time together, you will know exactly how to use these everyday plants to sweep away that toxic debris and breathe new life into your vision. Before we step out into the garden to discover these vision-saving miracles, consider subscribing to our community as we share the kind of senior health tips doctors often overlook or simply do not have the time to explain during a brief office visit. Also, please let me know down in the comments, where are you watching from today? I love seeing how far our message of healing reaches around the world, and it is wonderful to connect with you. Now, let us walk out the back door and look at the flower beds, because our first vision-saving miracle is likely blooming there right now in vibrant shades of orange and yellow. I am talking about the humble marigold, specifically the common varieties you plant to keep bugs away from your tomatoes. While we treat them as mere garden decorations, marigolds are actually one of the most potent sources on Earth of 2 crucial antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. As we age, our eyes are constantly bombarded by high-energy blue light from the sun, televisions, and smartphone screens, which pierces straight through to the back of the eye, causing severe free radical damage to the macula. Lutein and zeaxanthin act exactly like internal sunglasses, filtering out this destructive light before it can scorch your retinal cells. But our bodies cannot produce these compounds on their own. We have to get them from our environment. The scientific evidence backing this up is absolutely staggering. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association Ophthalmology followed older adults over a prolonged period and found that those with the highest dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin had a massive 43% lower risk of developing advanced age-related macular degeneration compared to those with the lowest intake. Think about that for a moment. Just by introducing these specific plant compounds into your routine, you could cut your risk of severe vision loss almost in half. Imagine your retina as a beautiful, expensive piece of antique wood furniture sitting by a bright window. Lutein and zeaxanthin are the thick layers of UV protective varnish that stop the colors from bleaching and the wood from cracking over the years. To harness this power, you simply need to harvest the petals of organically grown marigolds, ensuring no chemical pesticides were used. Dry them out on a paper towel for a few days, and steep a small handful in hot water to make a soothing, earthy tea. Swap out your usual afternoon cup of black tea for this vibrant marigold infusion a few times a week, and you will be bathing your retinas in exactly the nutrients they are desperate for. Moving just a few steps away from the flower bed, we find a woody, fragrant bush that is a staple in almost every herb garden. Rosemary is famous for flavoring roasted potatoes and chicken, but beneath its incredible scent lies a neuroprotective powerhouse that your eyes desperately need. The secret weapon hidden inside rosemary leaves is a rare compound known as carnosic acid. As I mentioned earlier, one of the main reasons our eyesight degrades over 60 is the buildup of toxic waste inside the eye and the subsequent death of retinal cells due to oxidative stress. Carnosic acid is unique because it specifically targets the retina and triggers a defense mechanism that shields those vulnerable cells from dying off. We are not just guessing about this either. Researchers at the Sanford Burnham Medical Research Institute conducted a groundbreaking study demonstrating that carnosic acid protects retinas from severe toxicity and macular degeneration, revealing an incredible 70% reduction in retinal cell death when the eye was exposed to massive oxidative stress. This herb literally halts the biological aging process of your eyes in its tracks. Picture a rusted old pipe struggling to let water flow through a house. Carnosic acid acts like a premium, heavy-duty rust remover, dissolving the toxic oxidation so your retinal cells can function smoothly and breathe again. To make the most of this, do not just leave rosemary as an afterthought garnish. Instead, take fresh sprigs from your garden and submerge them in a bottle of high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Let it sit in a dark cupboard for a couple of weeks to allow that precious carnosic acid to extract into the fats, because these compounds are highly fat-soluble. Then, drizzle that infused oil generously over your salads, soups, or morning eggs, ensuring your eyes get a daily dose of this protective shield. If you are finding these tips useful and feeling a bit more hopeful about your health today, please take a quick moment to give this video a thumbs up. It tells the algorithm to share this information with other seniors who might be sitting at home right now, frightened about their fading vision, and it helps us continue making these deeply researched videos for you. Our final stop in the backyard requires us to look down at the ground, specifically at the cracks in the patio or the edges of the lawn where a stubborn, fleshy little plant likes to grow. Most people spend their weekends aggressively pulling purslane out of their gardens, tossing it into the compost bin, completely unaware that they are throwing away a botanical treasure. Purslane is a sprawling, succulent weed with tear-shaped leaves and reddish stems, and it holds a secret that makes it incredibly valuable for aging eyes. It contains the highest concentration of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, of any leafy green plant on Earth. As we cross the threshold into our 60s and 70s, a very common and painful problem is chronic dry eye, which happens because the tiny meibomian glands in our eyelids stop producing enough high-quality oil to keep our tears from evaporating. Without this oily layer, the eye becomes inflamed, gritty, and prone to corneal damage, while deeper inside, the retina itself structurally relies on omega-3 fatty acids to maintain the integrity of its photoreceptor cells. The impact of these fats on aging eyes is profound. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a comprehensive long-term study revealing that individuals who consumed high levels of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids reduced their risk of developing early age-related macular degeneration by a staggering 38%. Think of the surface of your eye like a pristine car windshield. Without a steady supply of omega-3s to lubricate the system, it is as if the wiper blades have dried out and are violently scratching the glass with every single blink, leaving it permanently scuffed and cloudy. Purslane is incredibly easy to incorporate into your life once you learn to stop treating it like an enemy. It has a mild, slightly tangy, and refreshing crunch. Once you correctly identify it in your untreated yard, simply wash a handful of the tender young stems and leaves and toss them raw into your salads. Blend them into a morning smoothie, or lightly sauté them with garlic just like you would spinach. By choosing to eat this weed rather than poison it, you are giving your eyes the vital lubrication and structural support they need to stay sharp and comfortable all day long. Let us take a moment to reflect on what we have discovered today in your own backyard. Instead of relying on the outdated myth of carrots, we now know that brewing tea from marigold petals delivers the lutein and zeaxanthin needed to build an internal sunglass shield against blue light damage. We have learned that infusing olive oil with rosemary unlocks carnosic acid, a profound protector that stops retinal cell death in its tracks. And finally, we uncovered that the common weed purslane is a master healer, providing the crucial omega-3 fatty acids required to stop chronic dry eye and physically rebuild the structure of your retina. This is exactly what it means to take a holistic, science-backed approach to your aging body. I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not powerless against the hands of time. Society often tells us that aging means slowly losing our faculties, giving up our independence, and simply accepting a life that gets smaller, dimmer, and more restricted. But your body has a miraculous, undeniable capacity to heal and repair itself when you provide it with the right tools. I know it can be painful and exhausting to deal with the aches, the stiffness, and the creeping fears of getting older, but you have the power to rewrite the script. Imagine waking up, looking out the window, and seeing the morning dew with total clarity, or settling into your favorite chair to read a novel without a magnifying glass, or simply feeling the deep, peaceful confidence that you are going to be able to watch your grandchildren grow up, seeing every detail of their beautiful faces. That independence is within your grasp, and it starts with the simple, natural choices you make today. I would love to keep this conversation going with you down below, so please let me know. Which of these 3 plants are you going to look for or plant first? The marigold, the rosemary, or the purslane? Please leave a like and subscribe to our channel right now, because your health is absolutely worth fighting for, and we are going to fight for it together every single week. Remember, getting older does not mean fading away. It simply means it is time to bloom smarter. So step out into your garden, harvest your health, and keep looking forward to a bright, clear future.